loved it.
Thank you, Laurel.
Oh, that was awesome.
Thank you so much. I'm one of the top rock climbers in the country. And I'm not built like David Beckham or Tom Brady. And it might be reasonable for someone of my stature and my, how should I say, vintage, to think I'm not strong enough. I'm not powerful enough. I'm not big enough or tough enough to scale the steepest rock faces in the world. But I'm not reasonable. But I am unstoppable. And you can be unstoppable too. Are you ready to be unstoppable? Are you ready to be unstoppable? All right, I'd love it if you could turn to the person on your left, shake their hand and tell them, you are unstoppable. Now turn to the person on your right, shake their hand and tell them, you are unstoppable. We can all be unstoppable. And I'm going to show you how to be unstoppable. Have you ever seen someone do something that you thought was totally amazing and thought to yourself, I wish I could do that? Who's ever had that thought? Well, if you had that thought, but you didn't take any action to make that come true for yourself, it was probably because of one of these 4 reasons. I don't have the time. We don't have the money. We're not good enough. Someone or something won't let me. Who could connect with at least one of those reasons? Yes? Turns out those are the 4 most common self-limiting beliefs that we all share. They keep us stuck. They keep us living small. They keep us from reaching our full potential, stepping into our greatness, and reaching our life's biggest dream. And these self-limiting beliefs, they live in our subconscious. And our mind is kind of like an iceberg where just a little bit pokes up out of the water. And that's the conscious mind. That's where conscious thought, logical decisions, and creativity happens. And below the surface is our subconscious. This is pretty much where everything else we do comes from. And it's extremely powerful. Is it okay if we do a little experiment? I'm going to show you a slide. It's going to have some objects on it. And what I'd like you to do is when you identify the one that's unique, the one that's different than all the others, I'd like you to raise your hand as high as you can so I can see it. Is that okay? Yes. Ready? Yes. We're still working on it. That looks like just about everybody. All right, so now put your hands down. We're going to wash and repeat. I'm going to show you another slide, and same thing. When you identify the one that's unique, raise your hand high so I can see it. Ready? Okay, now that's almost everybody. I've done this experiment dozens, if not hundreds of times, always with the same result. We can find the unique object on this slide about 3 to 5 times faster than the other. Why? What do these objects look like? Number 2 and the number 5. How many times have you seen the number 2 or the number 5 in your life? 10? 1,000? 10,000? Hundreds of thousands or maybe millions, right? The other objects, not so much. So through repetition, you have developed very strong, what psychologists call schema. And schema are ways that we very efficiently, in our subconscious, sense our environment. Okay? The point of this experiment is to show you and demonstrate that we've got these incredibly powerful processes that are going on in our subconscious, and we're not even aware of them. So our subconscious is extremely powerful and behind almost everything that we do. As an example, if I go to a party and I meet someone for the first time and I'm talking to them and they find out I'm a rock climber, the most common response I get is, I could never do that. Almost immediately. People tell me, I could never do that. It's almost like their subconscious has to announce this as some kind of a preemptive strike, as if the next thing out of my mouth is going to be, hey, I got a rope and some harnesses in the car. What do you say we blow this place and you and I hit the cliffs? not what I'm going to say, but yet I could never do that. And the reality is, most of us can climb, or at least try. I know people with no legs who climb. I know someone with one arm who climbs. I know people who can't see or hear who climb. So those of us who don't have those challenges, of course we can climb, but we say, I could never do that. So it always makes me think, what other things are we telling ourselves we could never do? Before we even know what it entails. Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right, right? So how does this hold us back from becoming our biggest self in the world? I think it has a big impact. Is this good? You getting it? You want more? All right. Is it okay with you if I share a personal story? When I was 15 years old, I decided to go out for the freshman football team. And I bulked up since then. And it didn't take me long to figure out that I wasn't very good. In fact, I was terrible. The only game my team won that year was a game when I was sick and didn't play. True story. So at the end of the season, when Coach Chavone was going around to the other players, the other boys, saying, maybe you should try out for junior varsity, or you should try out for varsity, maybe you should be a halfback, he came over to me and said, kid, he was Italian. He said, kid, you should run track. I was devastated. You know, it's funny now, but at the time I was devastated. I felt like a total failure. Who's ever felt like a failure in their life? But I listened to Coach Chavone. I went out for track, and I think old Coach Chavone, I think he was pretty wise. By the time I got to college, I had run the mile in 4 minutes and 14 seconds. And I was the captain. Thank you. And I was the captain of a team placed third in the national championships. So I tell you this story not to impress you, but to make a point. And it's a very important point. So write this down. Success rewards action. Success rewards what? Action. You see, the most important thing I did back then was take that first step and go out for the football team. And it may seem like a dumb idea, but here's a fact. We don't get to know the outcome of the things we're going to do till we do them, right? We have to do them, see what happens, and figure out what we do next. What's important is that we take that first step, that first action. But we have these self-limiting beliefs that hold us back, keep us from our life's biggest dream. Is this good? You want more? All right. So these self-limiting beliefs in our subconscious, they also are responsible for forming things that psychologists call scripts. If schemas are efficient ways we sense our environment, then scripts are ways that we react to our environment. Have you ever gotten in the car to go to the grocery store and ended up in the parking lot at work or somewhere else? Yeah? You experienced the script. So schemas and scripts, while they're very efficient and they're really critical for our survival, they can send us to a place where we don't want to go. Just like when you ended up at work when what you really wanted was some bananas. So these scripts are very, very impactful on almost everything we do. They lay ready to fire 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They sit in our subconscious waiting for a challenge to come along. And when one does, pow, they fire, and out comes, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I'm not good enough, someone or someone won't let me. So why is this a problem? Why is this a problem? It's a problem because this life isn't a practice swing. We don't get a do-over, do we? We have one chance, and one chance only. So each small box on this slide represents 1 month for someone who lives to be 95 years old. I'm more than halfway down the page of boxes. There's not that many boxes. Who agrees that we don't have time for this in our lives? We owe it to the universe. We don't have time for this. So from all the years of rock climbing that I've done and from coaching thousands of rock climbers on improving their mindset, I've received an amazing gift. And today I'll share with you a secret. It's a secret on how to shut these scripts down so that you can step into your greatness and reach your life's biggest dream. Who wants to know the secret? You don't want to know the secret? Yeah, you do. Okay. All right, so here it is. When you're faced with a challenge, like if I was to say to you, hey, you want to go rock climbing with me tomorrow? Before your scripts can fire, which takes about 5 seconds, you simply respond, tell me more. Tell me more. And what that does is it stops the script, moves the thoughts up into the conscious part of the mind so you can make a decision. A conscious decision rather than a knee-jerk reaction based upon your scripts. Simple, right? Is this something you can do? Is this something you can do? Is this something you will do? Success rewards action. All right. Want to practice this? All right. So I'm going to give you the challenge. I'm going to ask if you want to come climb with me. And in response, what I ask of you is in your biggest, baddest World Speaker Summit voice so they can hear you on the 8th floor. Say, tell me more. Okay, are we ready? Hey, you want to go rock climb with me tomorrow?
Tell me more!
You guys knocked it out of the park! That is awesome. And I would love to tell you more, but I'm running out of time. I know they're going to take me off the stage. And so you can learn a lot more. I'm gifting you my ebook if you want it. It's Claim Your Summit. It's about the powerful mindsets of rock climbers that can help you take your life to the next level and reach your life's biggest dream. Who would like my ebook? My gift to you. Excellent. All you got to do is text ebook to the number. You'll get a couple of messages, and I'll email it to you. I'm also going to be around for the rest of the day. I'll be around tonight. I'll be around tomorrow. Corner me, tackle me, whatever you like. I'd love to talk to you, find out where you are on your journey to reach your life's biggest dream. And remember, don't be reasonable. Be unstoppable. Thank you. Thank you, Laura.
Awesome. Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you.
Who do I
Thank you.
get? You
Don't
want
you
this?
love them?
Thank you.
I just have to say, I feel